Hey everybody, it's Rich and Alex with this week's fishing report. So, very excited. Summertime.
Yep, it's
hot outside. Yes, it is. As we know, today is the closure of striper season for the rest of this month. So
yes.
It's a bummer. Fishing's been pretty decent. It's even though with the heat, we've been seeing some reports of guys catching some decent fish, but we can't go after them. So we're going to talk a lot about some of the other stuff that's out there that's going to be just as much fun to catch.
Plenty to do out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Lots of things.
Absolutely. So we've been hearing some reports as far north as the Choptank, all the way down into Tangier Sound of some speckled trout.
Right.
Got a lot of people that work here have been going after them too, and they've been having a lot of success. Been using fun stuff like some of the Z-Man diesel minnows and the minnows in different sizes. Here we've got the 3 and the 4 inch, and we've been actually doing really well with these on simple jig heads. Fish these in shallow water, a couple feet of water. Look for some grassy areas if you can. A lot of those
deep points, kind of like stuff like that.
Exactly. These have been working really well. Cool thing, those guys got those little fangs to them, a little bit of sharp teeth.
Right.
Of course, as many of us know, the diesel minnows has Elastic. So yes, these will hold up really well. Some sporadic mackerel down there. You got some other guys that got some toothy mouths to them. So we definitely like those for that kind of fish. Just keeping with the speckled trout, shrimp. So down south in the Carolinas, shrimp are huge. And up here, we don't see as many people using them, but we do get shrimp in the bay. These do work really well. I'm a huge fan of the Savage Gear shrimp. Technique for using these that makes these work really well. You want to cast it out there, give the rod a quick, sharp pop. It kind of makes the shrimp jump through the water a little bit, and then you want to let it settle. Let the shrimp sink back to the bottom. And what's really cool is these legs. So as this sinks to the bottom, these little legs will actually kind of swim. They move as it's sinking down to the bottom. And it really does look like the shrimp is swimming back down to the bottom. So you kind of pop it up, let it settle down, and then slowly retrieve some line. Pop it up, let it settle, slow retrieve. Slow and steady wins the race with this, and you'll catch all kinds of stuff on this. Speckled trout, love them, redfish, striped bass. You'll catch all kinds of stuff on these.
You can catch perch with those too.
Absolutely, you definitely. And that's the other thing we want to mention with perch. We get a lot of big perch, and we've been catching big perch on these baits. The 4-inch paddletails,
perch, some 13-inch perch out there.
Oh yeah, there's been some really nice perch being caught with some of these larger baits. So don't be too timid to use these bigger ones.
One thing I want to point out with this shrimp too, it's if you're fishing down in the islands down in the Tangier and there's a lot of grass, that weedless hook.
Absolutely.
You can really throw it in those little pockets in there.
Yep.
And it's not like throwing a jig where you're just going to be pulling grass every cast pretty much. But that helps a lot.
Yep.
So one little thing there.
Well, and if you do want to fish the shrimp in more open water, we've got some stuff from Tsunami. They already have the hooks in them; they're pre-rigged. And then if you want to rig your own on a jig head, we've got some from Blue Water Candy as well. Some of the backwater candy. So those are really good colors.
On that, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we like pairing those up with some G-Eye Jigs or jig head of your choice.
And now besides that, if you're down south, there's been some reports of actual, good-sized cobia coming up to the target ship, and even a little bit farther north towards probably like 72A, the typical pattern for this time of the year. And the bull reds they have been in here, but now it's a time when they schooled up a little more, and they hang around that same general area down there. So if you're doing that, what better than using any of those heavy-duty jigs, 1 ounce, 2 ounce jigs with a curly tail, or any kind of plastic of your choice really on that. We have those matadors that they designed for a flounder, but they're great for a trailer on any of those jigs. Biggest thing down there is going to be sight fishing, or if you're not that type of person that wants to, kind of ride around until you find them. I know some guys have been actually anchoring up down by the target ship, pretty shallow actually, like 13 foot of water, like in that flat there, and either chunking L-wide, almost like if you were chunking for striped bass up here, bigger chunks, obviously bigger hooks, bigger setups, or actually drifting eels.
Oh, nice.
So that's one good bet if you just want to sit back and relax and hopefully get one of those fish to come up to the boat.
Yeah.
So get out there. And then the other thing, it's trolling.
Yep.
Don't forget, you can always troll for all those species down there with some of those hoses.
Well, and this is a really good thing too, because if you want to sight cast for them, if you're lucky, you find them right away. But usually you don't. You get out there and you find this vast open body of water and you don't see anything. put some of these tubes out behind the boat. Troll these behind the boat, and if you get lucky, you come across a couple of them. And if you see some fish, then reel in the trolling rods and get the casting stuff ready to go. So you kind of kill two birds with one stone instead of just aimlessly driving around. Use your time wisely and try trolling.
And you can use these with either planers or inline weights. I'd rather use the planers myself, like a number 2 or 3, and get them down a little bit deep.
And just remember too, these will catch striped bass. If you do catch striped bass in the next couple of weeks with the closure, just release them as quickly as you can. Keep them in the water.
And then we've heard, like you said, some mackerel. If you're down in that area, once again, point lookout towards, I guess, Solomon's. Always keep a stink silver or any kind of metal jig around, just tied up, just in case you see them jumping around. There will be here, hopefully soon, up this way.
A lot of the species you talked about, we're starting to hear them in Maryland waters more consistently, so that's a good sign.
Right. Besides that, remember, you do have plenty of other things to do, like freshwater fishing. Snakehead bass, I mean, you name it. We live in a pretty good area where we can go either way, east or west, and catch all kinds of stuff.
Well, let's head back north and let's talk about 7-foot knolls. So up in the knolls in the northern part of the bay, we've been hearing good reports of more white perch, decent-sized white perch too. Around the Bay Bridge, we've been hearing spot and white perch have been really well. Sabiki rigs have been producing really well for those. A lot of people have been using razor clams. You take a razor clam, cut it up, about half of them.
It's been a hot bait.
Oh yeah, so put some razor clams on those, and that's been producing very well. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about?
I mean, besides that, just your typical catfish here and there. This is the time of the year where you can probably catch some good ones if you head up north. A couple of the areas I like to do that, it's probably up by the Susquehanna. You know, up there, chunks and bait. You got plenty of different catfish up there. Channel cats, blue cats, and some flatheads. So
absolutely,
that's one thing to do.
Absolutely. So there's plenty of options out there to go fishing other than striped bass with the closure. So definitely weigh some of these options. Crabbing's been okay. It's another thing you can do in lieu of going striped fishing. You could run a trot line, drop some pots. We've actually had some of our employees doing a lot of hand lining lately, and they've been doing pretty well right off the dock. So you don't even need to fire up the boat to get out there. So definitely stop by and check us out.
And besides that, remember guys, we have our White Perch Open tournament coming up August 15th. Registrations are open, so get in there, sign up, and remember, always a great time out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Fishing, hanging out, the after party, that's my favorite.
Absolutely.
But sign up.
Check out our website for information on that. We do have our registration on there as well and into the details. If you have any questions, feel free to call us or stop by the shop. We hope you guys join us for the White Perch Open. It's become a big tradition around here, so we're excited to have that happen again. So we thank you guys for watching. I think that covers most of the stuff that we want to talk about today, and good luck to you guys out there. Have fun.
Have a good one.